All right. Let's fucking get this shit started because my high is wearing off a little bit. All right.
Crazy, crazy
Grandma.
last hour. So yeah, sorry about
Nah,
that.
no, so it's my bad because I fucked up the time. I thought I said 11:15 and apparently I fucked it up. So sorry to everybody. Anyway, let's
No, he's
let's
true.
let's
Good.
so let's talk some fucking football and new to
Is
the.
Dave a Ravens fan too? Am I getting ganged up here?
Yeah, you're gonna get gangbanged
Definitely
from
a Ravens fan.
over the fucking Zoom. You're getting gangbanged, buddy.
Definitely,
It was-
definitely a Ravens fan.
There's no way. There's no way. There's no way we're worse than you this season. We are going to be better than you guys this season. There's no way.
okay,
You guys
so
know that like, you definitely know that we had the most injuries in the NFL last year, right?
We have
you know that, right?
That's what
Fine.
I said.
We lost our starting quarterback for five games.
Starting quarterbacks are running back.
oh, don't do that shit. Okay, all right, let's do this
He's
shit.
one wonder.
Let's do this shit
Our
properly.
running,
Okay.
our running back who led the league in passing. That makes a lot of sense.
He's one hit wonder. What has
Our
he done?
running back,
What has he
he's
done?
been hurt.
What has he done in the playoffs? He's a one hit wonder.
Okay.
Tennessee.
Okay.
If I remember, you guys got spanked by Browns and Baker Mayfield.
All right. Okay, let's start this fucking properly. All right, so let's start with the AFC North. Okay.
Okay.
The best team in the AFC North, Cincinnati Bengals. Obviously, they went to the Super Bowl this past year. Now, I'm going to ask this to Ergys first. How do you rank that division in terms of, and don't be biased because you're a fucking Steelers fan and say Steelers number one. Going into this season
Absolutely
with all the moves, how do you rank that division?
The AFC North?
Yeah, the North.
That's a tricky one now because I don't think Cleveland Browns I think they're gonna be last just because of all the freaking things they're doing. I think they're gonna be last. I think with all the politics going on, freaking Deshaun Watson and his
With no Watson.
Wow, Rapey McGee there. Rapey McGee.
Yeah.
freaking makes Big Ben looks like a saint.
Yeah.
I love that quarterback, but still.
He's a rapist. Just say.
No, but in all seriousness, I think Browns are going to be last. I'm not even this is a toss up. I don't know if Bengals are going to do as good this year. I don't know. I don't know. Like I wouldn't be shocked if they don't make the playoffs. You know what I mean?
I can hear that for sure. I can hear that with
here's the thing about
hangover.
Here's the team.
The only thing with Bengals is the only thing with Bengals that I don't want to say scares me because Bengals have never scared me ever. Like even when we have like beat up friggin' quarterbacks and they never scare me. But the only thing that like I'm very to keep my eyes on is that their weakness was one thing last year.
Offensive line. Yeah.
And they went out and beefed that shit the fuck up. So
yeah.
We'll see what happens with them. We'll see. I don't know.
Here's the thing though, is that Joe Burrow, as good as he is, I don't think he's durable enough to like he gets roughed up. Like that offensive line, like the fact that they even got to the Super Bowl with that offensive line
was a miracle.
It was a miracle.
It was a miracle.
And they have to play the Steelers twice. Steelers have some of the best fucking rushing, like TJ Watt coming at his ass. Like TJ will fuck your ACL up again, bro. Like so they better fucking block.
Well, that's the thing, that's what I worry with the Bengals too. Is if they did, because that's the only thing they need to fix was their O line.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Now Ravens and Steelers is a toss up, and you guys said it all depends on injuries. I also think with the Steelers, I was a fan. I was okay with them picking up Mitch Trubisky because I think they should. Here's why, though.
Oh, God, no. Don't try to justify Mitch Trubisky as a starting fucking quarterback. What's wrong with you?
I'll tell you why, though. Because we just see a quarterback that's okay enough to focus on to make sure that Najee Harris can get the ball. Make a good couple passes. You know what I mean? We're not saying him to be a star quarterback. We just want him to, we're most likely going to rely our offense on Najee Harris.
Who is your starting quarterback right now? If the season started today without Mitch Trubisky,
it's going to be a rookie. it's either a rookie or a bridge quarterback, and neither of those things to me.
They
I don't
picked
know,
up.
like
I think Pickett's
Pickens, yeah. But like even if Pickens is like he has a great offseason and he surprises people with his talent and all that stuff. The AFC North with all those defensive minded coaches, even if Cleveland Browns don't have Deshaun Watson, their defense is still top 5 defense.
Yeah,
Right?
but
So with all that being said, like I wouldn't trust a rookie quarterback. Now, with that being said, the second best coach to me in that division is Mike Tomlin. So Mike Tomlin has never been under 500. He's been in the play. I think Steelers have never missed playoffs. Or no, they don't. They missed playoffs. Just haven't been under 500.
They've always had a 500 or above 500
or above record. Yeah. So Mike Tomlin is going to get the best out of dog shit. Like he's going to get the best out of that team, no matter like what roster is there. But I don't trust a rookie quarterback, and I don't know how much carries Najee can have this year. Like, are you going to have him like Ezekiel Elliott and carry him like 450?
But that's why I think Trubisky can at least do enough where if he plays that Garoppolo role, where Garoppolo's not great. I'm not saying he was great, but where he didn't passes, you know what I mean? Where he did passes when he needed to, and then they used the run game.
Yeah, but can Trubisky even get the fucking ball out? That's the point. Like, he's not.
He's a decent. You can't judge him off the Bears though. Look at.
What else am I gonna judge him off of? That's what he fucking played. He sucked.
Look at Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford's a great example.
But he was good on the Lions. His numbers showed.
His numbers were always good. It's just
he just was on the Lions, but like
I think he could do something.
That's just because he's on the Steelers. You're saying that. Exactly. If he was on any other fucking team, he wouldn't be saying that shit, right?
This is my thing. This is my thing. Pittsburgh easily has the worst quarterback in the league. No, not the league. Sorry, in the division.
The division.
In the division, easily have the worst quarterback in the division.
This game they got Rudolph. Pick your poison.
Yeah.
Mason Rudolph.
So
I'm happy with Trubisky. I'm happy. If it's better than Rudolph. That's what I.
Yeah, for sure. 1,000,000%. Because Mason Rudolph is trash.
Well, you lost Juju Smith as well. So there's another.
Good. He's not good.
Oh. Juju's a really good slot receiver, and he blocks really well. Like. He reminds me a lot. Like obviously, this person who I'm going to say is a Steeler legend, and he's way better than Juju. But he reminds me a lot with how he plays with Hines Ward.
I was
reminds me a lot like him.
That and you know.
Yeah, he reminds me a lot of Hines Ward, and Hines Ward did a lot of stuff in the slot where he would just catch like the inside balls, and then he would block in the running game.
Yeah,
Juju is like that, but that like his whole persona was just taking over more than what his football was actually doing. So that's why they need him to get the fuck out of there.
Well, see, here's the thing about Juju is like, okay, I'm gonna go into the Deshaun Watson rapey guy now, okay? So, because this is why this division is gonna be interesting this year is literally because of this. So. The Cleveland Browns go out and they spend a fuckload of money on a guy who
guaranteed money.
Guaranteed money.
230 mil
on a guy who's, if he didn't play football, would probably be in jail right now. He's got Bill Cosby level accusations on his
24
ass, right?
24 new counts, and the Texans were just included in that as an
aid to it, right?
As an aid to it, yeah.
So you already have this issue, and like, here's one thing I give to Juju because like I saw this video of Deshaun Watson playing around with that porn star Maya Khalifa or whatever the fuck her name is.
Yeah.
I feel like even if the guy gets cleared to play, he's cancerous in the locker room, right?
Sure.
Compared to Baker Mayfield. Now you go out and spend all that money. They get Amari Cooper as well,
That was a great.
and
That was a great signing. Oh, that was a
and
great pickup.
and they and who they have? They have Jameis Winston too, right? Did they sign
No,
him?
James is on
They signed
James is
some.
on Saints. He's on Saints, but they got
They got
Jameis,
a good. No, they got
Jameis,
like
what?
no, they got Jacoby Brissett. Jacoby Brissett. That's who they got.
yeah for
So
quarterback. Yeah.
so now you spent all this money, and I like, barring a miracle, I don't see Deshaun Watson playing great football this year, even
Yeah, it'll be
if he
tough.
gets cleared.
Even if he's clear, because he's missed what a year, almost 2 years of football now, or is it just been 1 year?
1 year, but in that
1 year.
1 year is a long time in the NFL, and he's
For sure.
been doing a lot of toxic things in that time. It's not like he's been taking a year off and getting himself healthy because he's come back from an injury. He's took a year off because he was pretty much fucking around with whoever, wherever, and bringing that, like, the Browns were a really good fucking team last year. It was one of the only times I've ever, like,
So
the Browns came up on our schedule and I'm like, oh shit, the Browns, right? I don't feel like
They've had like two, maybe three seasons where they've had a top 5 NFL roster.
that good last year.
they started good and then they faded towards the end of the season because they were banged up as well, right?
Baker was banged up. Yeah.
Still now.
He's still on the team.
Baker, he's still there, but he's saying that he's not going to play.
Yeah, so, I would, like, you know what I mean? You got they got a quarterback. That quarterback now he can't play. You know what I mean? It's like, oh well, told you guys.
They got a quarterback that they freaking guaranteed $230 million who hasn't played football in a year.
Yeah,
that's insane.
That's my biggest problem. So I don't see them as a competition. Like, I don't see them. I see them probably splitting the games with the Steelers. I see them probably.
They're gonna win some games. Don't get it twisted. The quarterback is a huge question, but they still have a top 5 roster, bro.
But who will the quarterback be if Deshaun doesn't play and if Baker doesn't want to play?
Jacoby
That's
Brissett.
A good question.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Brissett, yeah. So like they still have 2 elite running backs. They still have 2 elite tight ends. They just picked up Amari Cooper, who's an elite route runner. Their defense is like top 5 defense in the league. Like they're still an elite roster. Like once they clear that quarterback whole thing, like next year Cleveland Browns, like once everything clears up, they're gonna be a really good team with a really good quarterback.
Yeah,
you know, but they're good roster.
That's a huge asterisk, though, and you never know how.
Sure, it's an asterisk.
You never know how a guy like that with all those kind of things going on trickles down into the locker room, right? Yep. That's the biggest problem. Because look when Ben was Rapey Ben, that trickled down that year as well, right? So
did he win a championship the year after? When was that? When was the allegation?
I don't know. You tell me.
It was early in his career. It was early.
Yeah.
It was like what, 4th, 5th year? It was pretty early in his career.
Yeah,
I remember what happened after. I don't follow Steelers, but
yeah, fuck the Steelers. But let's go. Let's move on to the Ravens now. So here's my biggest thing. I think we drafted really well. The guys that were injured are going to come back. I would put
that is the biggest thing that everybody's like. All of these sports networks, like the only one person who I've seen that has mentioned it, and is Ryan Clark. And I hate to say Ryan Clark because he's a fucking Steeler guy, but he's the only guy on the networks that has brought this up. Ravens were in first place in the NFL last year.
Yeah,
at 8-2, and then all these and that's with no running back because all the running backs got hurt before the year. That's with Marcus Peters getting hurt before the year. You know what I mean? Like that's all that happening, and they're at first place in the NFL. and then all the other injuries are happening. Like they were decimated by injury, and not injuries, but like backup guys, like starting elite level guys.
Yeah, we had 12 to 13 starters out.
And like even with all of that, even with all the injuries, they were still in every game going to the end. They were still all in 1-point games. 1-point game versus Green Bay. Whose other game were
LA, the Rams.
Yeah, 1-point game versus the Super Bowl Rams. Like they're right there with all the injuries. Like, and for people to say, oh, like Ravens they're not gonna be good. Like people are crazy.
But I got a question, like a serious question. Would following the injury, and maybe it's just a one-off, but does Lamar Jackson need to switch up his style a bit, slow it down a bit, or you think
I wouldn't say slow it down. Like that is a very like as a football fan, not even a Ravens fan, as a football fan, like any leg injuries to athletic quarterbacks are like they're like a notch on the belt. Like their career is going. Huh?
The mover too, like he moved.
Yeah,
like he,
for sure, for sure. So for sure, he needs to be more aware of running, and he needs to be quicker with throwing the football. Like the whole problem that I see with Lamar is that not that he can't throw the football, but because he's like, especially last season, like he second guessed a lot of stuff.
He holds on to the ball too long.
Yeah, for sure. So that's a huge thing. So he does that, and he misses his reads, and then he remembers. He's like, oh shit, I'm Lamar Jackson, the fastest player in the NFL. Like, I can get through this, and then like he makes a play here and there, but most plays he gets tackled in the backfield. Like you know what I mean? So like he definitely needs to get more confidence in just seeing the play and letting the ball go on your first or second read. That's something that he definitely needs to improve on for sure.
Here's my issue with Lamar from last year is I think the success he had in the first 3 years of his career was because they just let him do his thing.
Whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden last year they tried to control him a bit, like stay in the pocket, throw the ball,
go through third, fourth, and fifth.
That's not the kind of quarterback he is. I think if the Ravens seriously want to win a Super Bowl, you just let the fucking guy play. Just
he is a 1 to 2 read quarterback.
Yeah,
give him 2 reads, and then after that, you just let him be him, because just like guys like Vic or McNair or any of those guys who are mobile quarterbacks, their career is already limited.
Yes,
in the amount of years and the amount of plays that they'll have, their career is already limited. So you just gotta kind of just let lightning run.
But and I agree with you, because like if you play the Steelers, right? Mm-hmm. If you look to the third read, you're getting sacked by TJ
for sure. Watt. TJ Watt, yeah, he's coming.
He's coming to fucking get you, right?
Even a guy like Cam Haywood, like they're coming, and like in any NFL team, their pass rush is what like.
The Steelers' pass rush is to me top 5 in the league.
They are there. Their only problem is what I really like with their defense is they slow down as they come on so aggressive, and like sometimes in the beginning that they slow down and
as the game goes on,
wear themselves up. But with Lamar, going back to Lamar, you don't think if they let him? Obviously, I think it'd be better if they let him, do his thing. But you don't think teams will make reads of that, and you don't think maybe that's what they were doing? You
let him fucking go, and you let him juke the shit out of them. That's when he was the most successful. As long as he's behind the line of scrimmage and can still throw the ball, and you let that kid move, then you're good. You get what I'm saying?
The biggest thing to me with the Ravens that people forget. So when Lamar had his MVP year, right, the team was set up a certain way. The team was set up to where they had 3 tight ends on the field, almost like 80% of the plays of the offensive plays. They had
blocking tight ends too.
Yeah, they had Hayden Hurst, they had Boyle, and they had Andrews.
Yeah.
So they had these 3 tight ends who can all block. They had Boyle who can get up there and
be physical,
catch the ball, and be physical, whatever. And they also had what's our
Hayden Hurst.
No, yeah, hers. But like, what's the big fullback name? Like he's like 305 pounds, big
Patrick
ass fullback.
Ricard. Patrick Ricard.
Patrick Ricard. So they would have the three tight ends plus this big ass fullback. Plus you would have Lamar Jackson, who can do at this point the fucking league was scared shitless of this guy. And then you have Mark Ingram, who was just a bullet running downhill. So you have all these elements going on, and Lamar was able to make people second guess, right? Mm-hmm. Like, is he gonna escape? Is he gonna throw it to Mark Andrews over the top? Like, that's when they were really, really good, and they're trying to get back to that this year. You can see because they drafted two tight ends. You have Boyle coming back, so they're trying to get back to that. So I think. Sorry, go ahead.
After recovering, you think he could still juke and jive the way he did when he won his MVP season?
He didn't tear his ankle apart. He just strained it.
He just strained it. Yeah. I think he'll be fine, and I think what is playing into his favor and the Ravens' favor. I think that everybody's talking about his contract shit right now. Everybody's saying, "Oh, he doesn't want to be like, whoa, what does Lamar want to do?" Everyone's talking about all that stuff, and Lamar, to me, he presents as somebody who is very prideful. So like he takes things personally. That's how he presents to me.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to have a really good year just because he's just going to be like fuck everybody kind of thing. That's what comes across to me. Like who knows what happens? Football, you're one injury away from being in your career, you know. So who knows what will happen? But my takeaway is I think Lamar's going to have a really good fucking year.
Well, here's my question mark, and I hate to say this because I love the Ravens, is we fucking dealt away Hollywood Brown, right? So now we have effectively, if I look at the whole division, we have the worst receiving corps out of the four teams in the North.
In the NFL.
In the
NFL.
We have the worst receiving corps. Right?
Bar none. Bateman has potential.
Yeah.
He has potential to be a number one receiver, no doubt about it. Like if you watch games last year, you're like, oh shit, this kid fucking he has hands of glue, he has great route running, he's big, he's vertical, he can go get the ball over top. Like he has all the tools, but he only played like 6 games last year?
He was hurt for most of the season. So we have the worst receiving corps. So
to me, yeah. Easily.
The thing is, like you said, Lamar Jackson is going to have to fucking show that he's worth $200 million this year.
For sure.
Otherwise, as many weapons as the Baltimore Ravens have, the Steelers will eat that shit. They'll eat that fucking shit apart.
But see, my argument would be like, I think the Ravens know that. I think the Ravens know that offensively they're going to be very, very. Even as much as they're going to try and be like multidimensional, they're going to be really, really one-dimensional because really in the passing game it's going to be the only proven commodity you have in the passing game is Mark Andrews. So that I believe they know that, and I believe that's why they went so heavy defensively this year. Like even going to go pick up Kyle Fuller, and then picking up Marcus Williams, and then going after the best safety in the draft. Like they've gone very, very, very defensive minded in this offseason. I think they know that.
Yeah. But here's my thing though: is like when you look at that division, you have the best. Well, I'd say the best coach, 2 of the best 5 coaches in the league. Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin. If the Ravens can't pass the ball, Mike Tomlin will eat the Ravens alive. Plain and simple. You send all those fucking you just let TJ Watt loose, he will eat the Ravens alive without any receivers. So if the receivers don't catch the fucking ball for whatever Lamar throws this year, it will be a long season for the Ravens. In my opinion, as shitty as that sounds to say, I give the Steelers that one on that because if Lamar can't get any of the receivers the ball because they suck, we're not going to win any games. I'm just saying that right now.
Yeah. But even we picked up some offensive. We touched up our offense because that was also hurting us a bit too, our O line a bit. But we picked up some of that during the draft. But I'm interested to see how we do, and I'm actually interested to see how the AFC North does because it's. To me, I personally think Cleveland Browns going to be last. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just
I agree with you.
But I think, and going back to that question, who's going to be first in the AFC North? It's a toss-up between Bengals, Steelers, and Ravens. Like, I don't even, you know what I mean? Like, it
Yeah.
could go. Ravens could be first. Bengals could be first. I think even, you know what I mean? Steelers could be first. But it's, I know for a fact, I think the Browns are going to be last. I think with all the drama going on, I don't see them. I don't see.
I tend to agree with that too. I think if Mitch Trubisky actually plays football, you might see a winning Steelers team this year.
Maybe,
I think
maybe,
as much as I don't like the Steelers, like how could you bet against somebody who's never had an under 500 record?
but with that too, though, with Big
But fuck,
Ben's below 500 record as well. So it's now it was it Tomlin or was it, you know what I mean? Like,
Was it Ben?
what,
Yeah.
it
you
definitely
know,
was a bet last year.
no, for the past couple years, it wasn't Ben. You're right. Tomlin
Definitely.
proved, even
All
when
right.
we had no quarterback, he still found a way. But
All right, let's move on to the East then. So Buffalo, New England, Miami, New York.
I got Buffalo, Miami is the top two.
Miami, that's interesting.
Miami has fucking weapons, bro.
Yeah,
Weapons,
but
like offensive weapons. Like
I got
like,
the Jets.
it's scary. It's scary.
you got the Jets.
Scary what they have. And I don't like Calvin likes them, but I don't like the Patriots. I don't trust fucking Brady 7.0.
Yeah.
2 point. Here's the thing with Mac Jones. I want to see him now because I want to see is he good or was it just that one hit season and now people are going to figure him out and he's not? You know what I mean? I want to see if he's, you know what I mean? If
Well,
he's
New England's going to be the exact same team. They spent a shitload of money last season, so they couldn't spend any money this year. So you're going to see the exact same New England. So it's whether or not they get better in the offseason as a group or because they haven't upgraded. They haven't upgraded at all. Miami upgraded a lot. They got Teddy
Defensively.
Well,
Bridgewater to back up. They got Chase. They put a lot of money into Chase Edmonds, Raheem Mostert. They got Cedric Wilson Jr. too.
And they got fucking Cheetah, bro. Like that's
Harry-
not a fucking small thing. That's not getting. People don't understand the way he changes your defense. You have to have two guys. You have to have one on him and one over top. And sometimes you have to change the defense completely.
Will Tua be able to throw those? You know what I mean? Like, will Tyreek?
That's the question. That is the question.
Just his game. You know,
that's the question. The whole question is, can Tua get them the ball?
Yeah, but Teddy can fucking get him the ball. That guy can.
Teddy can.
He'll sling that fucking ball.
Above their offense around Tua, or they don't, or is he disposable?
I think what they're telling Tua this year is that this is your year. Either you fucking play or you're out of here because you can't be a mediocre quarterback with the weapons you have. Like he has the fucking fastest receiving corps in the NFL, and then you have that tight end who's really good.
Gesicki.
Yeah, he's a really good tight end. You have all that speed around you, and you have a really good running back. Like there's no way that they shouldn't be an explosive 30-point team this year. Per game. There's no way.
Yeah, but think about Buffalo. Like Buffalo,
I think Buffalo could win it this year. I think
Buffalo's number one. Yeah, for sure. Like they have all the pieces, and they went to go and they added Von Miller.
but how much Von Miller is going to change the team? I don't think he's going to change the team that much.
Isn't he older now, Von Miller? He's older now.
Yeah, he's like 35, 36.
Yeah, but still having that pass rusher on your team who had he had 8 sacks last year, I think.
Yeah, but Von Miller got extremely lucky. He won a Super Bowl, and at 35 years old, or whatever the fuck old he is, you're not supposed to be getting like $100 million contract at that age.
For sure.
So he got extremely lucky. I think the Bills overpaid for him. When I saw that deal, I thought they overpaid for him. He's one accident away from the end of his career. Like he's that old, and I'm not putting him down. He's a great player. But they overpaid for him, and I don't see him making a tremendous amount of impact on an already great team. You know what I mean?
I think what they're hoping for is him to be just enough to get them over the edge because as everybody saw, like they're what, like one play away from beating Kansas City. You know, like they're a really good football team.
That's, you know what I mean. That's that game was a good game, but it's just like I feel like that game, that's all where it's like they both should have had a chance. But I felt that, you know what I mean.
That was a great game. That was a great game.
So
they changed that rule this year, right?
Mm-hmm. So for that. So basically, both teams will get a chance to get the ball.
That's fair though.
Basically,
yeah, because the other way was stupid. Like if you score a touchdown, the game's over. Oh, fuck.
Game's over.
Yeah, like that. Like that's just luck of the draw, like a coin flip.
Basically,
like it doesn't show who's the actual better team, right?
No.
But like
both teams should get a chance.
What do you think about the upgrades that the Jets made? Do you think it's going to be significant enough to make a dent in that division? Or
you know how much I was banging on. I was hoping the Ravens would go up and make a move to get Sauce Gardner. He is going to be special. Sauce Gardner is special, but they're 2 years away. Like they need another solid draft and another solid free agency, and then then they'll make moves. Like they're not there yet.
Here's why I like the Jets. They still have Joe Flacco. Okay, he's a legend. he's a legend. he's still playing football. He's MVP.
Is he really on that team? Is he really still in the league?
Yeah, he's the fucking backup, bro. He's the backup.
Oh my goodness.
Are they starting Mike White, or are they going to start Zach Wilson?
Wilson, I believe.
Wilson.
Huh. Because I thought White was playing better. Wasn't he playing better?
He was, but they're invested in Wilson. They have to know what they have.
Yeah.
And got all those.
Now, moving on to the West, you got Kansas City, Las Vegas, Los Angeles, Denver. This can be a very fucking dangerous division.
I'm at work right now. I'll give you a call back in like 20 minutes.
So I am going to go out on a limb and say Las Vegas. They have added some serious fucking firepower on that team. But my question mark still is, I don't believe David Carr is a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Yeah, it is.
Bro, he's...
Yeah.
Bro, I don't know, man. Like, I think he's actually one of the most underrated players in the NFL. To me, I think it's actually
really
he's like, you look at all the dysfunction that organization has had over the last 2 years, and his numbers are still like top 5, top 7 in the league. Like look at all the dysfunction, like with Mike Mayock, with Antonio Brown, with this year with the wide receiver Ruggs. Like, look at all the dysfunction that they've had in that organization for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And his numbers have still been like fucking like really good numbers. And that's without really a number one receiver. And then now you're gonna give him arguably the top 3 receiver in the league. You're gonna give him that?
Adams, right?
Yeah, you're gonna give Devonta Adams, like,
and Scandling.
I don't know, like,
they have Marquez Scandling too, no? I think they signed him.
No,
they have Renfro. Renfro.
Yeah, I think Scandling was.
He went to the Chiefs. He went to the Chiefs. Yeah, he went to the Chiefs. Yeah. So
like they're
yeah, they got Hunter Renfro.
Yeah. And
if there is any year where everyone will see either how good David Carr is or Derek Carr, as good or as average as Derek Carr is, this is going to be the year, because he has all the comfort. He has his best friend. He has his college roommate. Like, he has all this stuff going on. If he's just an average quarterback, then you know that he's just a 10 to 15 quarterback, like a ranking 10 quarterback.
Here's the thing, though, is the fucking Chargers. They have a team, man. They spent some money this offseason. They probably did the best offseason moves, in my opinion.
I like Justin Herbert.
Yes, he's a fucking G.
I was thinking, but I actually thoroughly enjoyed that Raiders and Chargers game, and I was okay if we didn't make the playoffs and they both made it, because they played their hearts out, and I'm like, You know what I mean? I'm like, man, nobody really wants to see a 70-year-old Big Ben throw 5
Well,
yards.
I almost thought they fixed that game because it was almost a tie, and I'm like, oh, they might have fixed that game.
Well, I the timeout. No, it was like they were ready to go to a tie, but then I think the Chargers coach did like a tie. They're like, okay, kick it then.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I thought it was going to go to a tie, and then but I mean they signed Khalil Mack too and J.C. Jackson. They have a fucking team, man.
Yeah.
And that's a like you're saying, Herbert could easily be.
Oh, we didn't mention that Vegas got Chandler Jones.
Oh yes, that's
they got Chandler Jones.
That's a huge
Chandler
signing.
Jones so Chandler Jones on one side, and you got Max Crosby on the other side. It's big.
Yeah, that's a bit. Well, and they have what's his name, Darren Waller as well.
Darren Waller,
yeah. That's a serious fucking team.
Yeah.
So is the Chargers, but
sure.
I think the biggest question mark is Denver because they got new ownership, so that always is a good thing to change things up. But then we have Russell Wilson in the AFC now.
Didn't they? Wasn't there a rumor that Peyton Manning was supposed to take like a managerial role? Like he was supposed to be like a manager or something.
Well, I never heard that rumor.
The new owners want to bring him on in some manner.
Something I don't know what it is. I wouldn't say, but I know it was something. That's what I heard. But
so I mean, that's the biggest question mark. If Russell Wilson settles into that role, I mean, he's got a good team behind him. But the problem is that's a stacked division too, because you can't count the Chiefs out. Even though the Chiefs has lost a lot of players, they're well coached. I mean,
they still have
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, Travis Kelce didn't go anywhere. Like
they sound scandling.
Yeah, but them losing Honey Badger is going to hurt them though.
Sorry, what are you saying, Ergys?
The thing, but you think if Chiefs lose, like if Mahomes makes another playoff run, but like goes down in the Eastern Conference, he's getting that Aaron Rodgers role where he's like right there, but he'll make it once, but he'll never make it again. You know what I mean? Where it's like he'll never win the Super Bowl again. I mean, I know.
I would say no, because I would say the difference between KC and Green Bay is that Green Bay is very frugal. They don't really go out and spend money on players. Like everything they do is like, we're going to draft this player because, like, for one, not a lot of people want to go to fucking Green Bay. Like, Wisconsin's fucking a horrible place to be. Like, so nobody wants to fucking go to fucking Wisconsin, for one. So that's going against them. But Kansas City, they've always done well with recruiting free agents. And Andy Reid is like a elite offensive coach, and they got Travis Kelce locked up for what, like the next 5 years. They got all the infrastructure in place, and their owner is not afraid to spend money. Like he'll go out and buy players. Like, he's not afraid of that. So I think Mahomes is set up better to win another Super Bowl, whereas Rodgers was like fighting his whole organization.
Yeah,
like for so long he's been asking for another wide receiver, and they went out and drafted
a quarterback.
Yeah.
Here's my problem with Mahomes. Okay, is skill wise, he's, in my opinion, top 1 or 2 in the league. No question about it.
I would say skill wise, he's the best quarterback in the league.
Okay, but
just skills.
Here's my problem: is that guy takes fucking beatings. Okay,
yeah,
I have seen him literally get hit. Like, I'm an MMA fighter. Ergys is an MMA fighter. I've seen this fucking guy get hit, wobble his way back to his feet, and they put him back in the fucking game.
Back in the game, yeah.
That is what did they pay him? Like $800 million fucking dollars? That's an $800 million fucking quarterback, or whatever the fuck they're paying him, and he clearly has a concussion, and they threw his ass back in the game. I've seen that over the course of 2 seasons twice. So my question is are they actually going to keep him healthy so he can have this long career to give them those Super Bowls, or are they just going to wear his ass out? And in 2 years,
he's got Josh Gordon, no? So they got some good. They got
Josh Gordon.
Yeah,
he's there. Oh, I didn't even know he was there. Shit. Even though even though he was still in the league.
Yes.
Even though he's still in the league.
He's still. They got it. That's what I'm pulling up here. That's what he get. They got him. They got him in the.
Well, they also got Juju as well. So
they got Juju. Yeah, they got Juju.
They got your boy.
Do you think? Oh, here's the thing, and I hope, that's the thing. I hope all what I mean. You think he'll play a key role in there?
He has to.
I think he has to, and I think if there's any team where it can work, where he can work as a pass catcher and being that kind of threat, I think it's under Andy Reid. Like he is right there to me with Sean Payton or what's the guy's name from LA Rams?
McVay.
Yeah, I think he's right there with the level of genius that he has in his offense. So I think Juju will have a remarkable year. I don't know if it will be like a Pro Bowl year. I don't know about that, but I think he's going to get a lot of he's going to get half the balls that Tyreek was getting. He's going to have a pretty good reception year. I don't know about yards and touchdowns and stuff, but he's going to get a lot of targets.
Here's the thing: when Juju was good, who was throwing to him?
Big Ben. But listen, hold on.
Younger Big Ben. And not fat Big Ben that was tripping over his feet. Now he has fucking Mahomes.
No, I don't think he was there for a younger Big Ben. Antonio Brown was.
No, but Big Ben seriously deteriorated in the last 2 seasons.
Juju played with AB.
Yeah, he did.
Did you play with AB?
He did. Yeah. But what I'm saying is he was there. Oh, yeah, you're right. Because he started going down after his Tommy.
That's what I'm saying.
Juju's best year was when AB was across from him. Because Juju had over 1,400 yards reception, 10 touchdowns. He had a really good year.
And everybody was guarding Antonio Brown.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So that's what I'm saying.
That's 1,000,000% what happened that year. Because the year before that, AB had 1,900 yards.
Ergys, what'd you say? Say that again.
Huh?
Say that again. You cut off there.
I have disdain towards Antonio Brown. He is a tremendous wide receiver. You know what I mean? And
fuck it. I still like the guy. I don't give a shit. As crazy as he fucking is, if he came to my team, I'd be like, yo, sign his ass. Let's go.
I didn't know, but I look at it as will it affect you in a good way? Or because he's just drama. There's a lot of drama with him. You know what I mean? And that's what it is. He can play. Don't get me wrong, but how much are you going to get playtime or the drama? You know what I mean?
How different is it?
You have to have a really, really, really strong culture to bring AB on your team. There has to be
with it. Tom Brady's. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's saying something.
Well, I mean, okay, I'll put this in comparison. So you have AB, but then look at the Raiders bringing Colin Kaepernick on board. It's the same fucking drama, just in a different realm. So
did they bring Kaepernick?
They brought him in for a workout.
Yeah, but they probably...
Okay, but imagine they sign him. It's the same fucking shit. You're going to have the same drama, just in a different... One's going to be a political one. One's going to be a fucking guy that likes to take his shit off in the middle of the game.
But I also think when it comes to game time, Kaepernick is not going to...
He's not going to play. He's not going to play.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. But if he did play, he wouldn't freaking do what AB did and quit in the middle of the game. You know what I mean? That's the type of drama that AB brings.
Yeah, but was that justified? Because if you hear the full story of that situation,
the whole story is very, very, very much fishy. It's very fishy. There's absolutely no way that AB made that decision on his own. There's no way it wasn't.
But the problem
Bruce Arians wasn't involved in things going on. There's no way.
Sorry,
go ahead.
No, yeah, but it's because he's done it so many times, it's like the boy who cried wolf. How many times are we really going to believe? You know what I mean? 'Cause the first time he's freaking done shit like this. You know what I mean? And that's the only problem. He's got a lot of baggages coming with him. You know what I mean?
But he can catch the fucking ball. So at the end of the day.
But how many times is he going to catch the ball before he freaking does more of his AB stuff.
I don't give a shit if it wins me a fucking football game. I don't care. That's the whole point.
He's out.
Yeah, but
then it doesn't matter anymore.
Okay, does Tampa win a Super Bowl without him?
No, but that's on him.
Question.
You don't know. Actually, hold on. You don't know. You don't know.
No, he was key in that Super Bowl. He was key in that Super Bowl.
He was key in Super Bowl for sure. He was key in Super Bowl, but that's a really good question. I won't go as far as to say no. I've seen Tom Brady win with fucking mess.
Yeah.
So I won't go as far as to say no. They wouldn't win it, but it will be really fucking difficult. I think he had like 2 touchdowns that Super Bowl.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. As he historically, he's one of the most baggage players, like Ergys said. But boy, oh boy, he fucking wins games and shows up when he needs to. So
when is that going to be? Because sometimes he just doesn't want to show up.
That's what I mean. So if you are a team in desperate need of a wide receiver, i.e. Ravens, I will fucking sign his bitch ass. I don't give a shit if he conks out halfway through.
I don't think he'd fit great in the Ravens locker room.
I don't think so either, but if he wins us some fucking games, I don't care.
For like 1-2 games, and then he leaves and freaking just makes a whole mess of the situation. What's the point of having him? I'd rather have a couple wide receivers that aren't as good as him, but together can at least be consistent and play, and not give you 2 good games and then the rest he's fucking off and going somewhere else and being Antonio Brown. I've
always said there were wide receivers who I wanted this year as a Ravens fan, but with what's left on the board, to me, the best option for the Ravens at this point is going to get Julio.
Yeah, but he's old. He's old and he's worn out.
He's definitely old and worn out. But he's still able to be that. Probably not your X receiver. Like you're gonna have like Bateman be your number 1 receiver, but he can still be opposite of Bateman. He can still make plays, and he's a great like you never hear anybody say Julio is a bad teammate. You never hear everyone always says no. Julio is a great leader, and he's an Alabama guy, and you know how much Ozzie loves his Alabama guys, right? So
speaking of Julio, let's talk about that division: Tennessee, Indy, Houston, Jacksonville. I think Tennessee shit the bed in this offseason. They fucking have no. They didn't do anything to upgrade their team, and they lost arguably one of the top receivers in the fucking league. Like that division to me is a toss up, and like Indianapolis has what? Who do they got? Matt Ryan now.
Matt Ryan, yeah.
Right. Like I see them as a.
Is that his starting? Is he the starting QB?
Yeah, they let go. Sure. Yeah, Carson Wentz went to Washington. So
Matt Ryan is still a really, really, really solid NFL quarterback, and he's playing in the dome right now. So like he's not worried about like anything. So like I'm very interested to see what the Colts do. Very, very interested.
I think they win the division.
Matt Ryan, I would say I think Matt Ryan can have them win the division. I honestly believe that. Yeah.
The Colts have what one of the best running backs in the league.
Running backs, yeah. Pittman is emerging.
Yeah, and
I like Pittman. Yeah,
best running back in the league. No,
sorry, what did you say?
Tennessee. Sorry,
like
Derrick Henry.
Yes.
Henry's really good, yeah, but the Colts running back, was it Jacobs?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, like he's special.
Here's my problem with Henry, and I like Henry, but how long can you run with his style before you start breaking down? And that's what happened last year.
He's a fucking fridge, bro. He's a fucking fridge.
Well, the problem,
just imagine a fridge, just like a full fridge, just running down a fucking hill, barreling down a hill. That's what fucking Henry is. It's a fucking fridge.
He already got injured, and the problem is though they were good that first time when they beat the Patriots and they won. I forgot it's at the conference finals where
they fucking
the championship.
They beat the shit out of the Ravens. Then they beat
they kicked our ass that year. They kicked our ass at home.
But then after that, I think because it becoming predictable. and Tannehill is not a good quarterback.
No, he's not.
And they got rid of fucking what's their receiver's name?
Brown.
Yeah, they got rid of AJ Brown. So now it's gonna be like now it's Tannehill and fucking
nobody.
They have on their.
I can't even tell you who they have on their roster.
Who's the receiver? Yeah,
right.
Is it the Colts? It's Jonathan Taylor, right? That's the running back.
Yeah, Taylor. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor. Yeah, sorry, not Adams.
Yeah, but so like that division, I can easily see. I actually would put Indianapolis at number 1, and then Jacksonville would be my number 2, because I don't see the Texans aren't doing shit.
Texans are going to be 4 for sure. I don't know how much faith I have in Jacksonville. They were dog shit last year, and I don't know if I have them jumping up.
Texans and Jaguars were technically, one was 4-13, one was 3-14.
Yeah,
so they were both the same.
But here's my thing: is I don't think Tennessee. I think they just gave up all their firepower. They don't have enough offense now. They were an offensive firepower team. The only way Tennessee wins games is if Derrick Henry comes back and tears the fucking. He just runs over.
They have that other running back that was doing pretty good too, though. No.
Who?
I'm gonna pull him up unless they got rid of him.
For which team?
Titans?
Tennessee.
Titans?
Was it Chestnut? Was it the other guy? Where
they had somebody that came in that filled in who was decent, but I don't remember his name.
They brought in Peterson.
No. They had another guy I think they had another guy. I don't think they have him here, to be honest. I think they got rid of him.
Well, actually,
they had another guy who was a backup for Henry, and I remember watching the Steelers game, and he was actually doing really well. So,
okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. But actually, the Titans I have my notes here. The Titans signed Robert Woods, so that's
not for injury. That's not a bad receiver. Yeah.
So I mean, they have something, but I'm gonna go. This is gonna be my stupid pick of the season. Is I'm gonna say the Jaguars are number 2, right? Not because I think they're a good team.
Interesting.
Not because I think they're a good team at all. I just think that the division's the weakest one in the AFC, and the Jags put a lot of money in Christian Kirk, and if he can get the ball, he can ball out a little bit. Like he did a really good job in Arizona, right? As a backup. So, moving on to the NFC. What do you think about Ergys? What do you think about the East? Dallas, Philly, Washington, New York. Who do you think is gonna?
I hate Dallas. I hope they go last. I can't stand them. They suck. I'm just gonna say that. I don't care. No, I think Dallas is going first there.
Yeah, you think so? But they lost a lot of key things. They lost a lot of key players.
Did they?
Yeah, well, they lost Amari Cooper.
Oh, right? Yeah.
They lost a few guys on defense as well. But, I mean, in terms of...
They got that defensive guy, though, who was... he was the rookie of the year.
Washington?
No. Rookie...
Diggs? Was it Diggs or...
Yeah, Diggs, yeah.
No, it wasn't Diggs. It was, I think,
Parsons?
Yeah, I think.
They have talent on they have young talent for sure.
Rookie.
Defensively,
I'll say.
Yes.
But here's the problem with Dallas is they're just an underperforming team.
Micah Parsons, that's what it was.
Parsons.
So Dallas is just an underperforming team. They show up on games that don't matter, and then games that do matter, they don't fucking play football.
First and long in the fourth quarter with 10 seconds left in the playoffs is what they do.
Exactly. That's my issue with them. But the problem with that division is it's so fucking weak. But Philadelphia
has always been weak, though.
Not historically. Philadelphia has always played pretty well, but I think after... Sorry?
Recently, they've been weak.
Yeah, but they haven't added much in this offseason either. So we're looking at the same kind of division again. You have Washington, which Washington signed Carson Wentz, but how much is Carson Wentz going to change your fucking team?
Carson Wentz isn't going to do anything.
No, he's not going to do anything. And then who else is in that division? You have
You have Dallas, Philly,
and the Giants.
Giants, and the Commanders.
Yeah, the Giants aren't doing
Daniel
shit.
Jones.
Fuck Daniel Jones. So, like,
Giants are a lost cause for a while now.
Yeah. So
I think they're okay with tanking, and they're just going to tank, and they don't.
Just a losing New York culture. Let's just fuck.
Yeah, they're definitely playing for one of those quarterbacks next year.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They're playing for the number 1 draft pick.
Yeah,
for sure. But they don't have a team. Like, and look at Saquon. Saquon's meteoric demise. Like, he has went from one of the most elite running backs to one of the no one is talking about him anymore.
Yeah,
such a shame too.
And he was really
injury
good.
Is just but injury. Like, is this the knee? Yeah, the ACL, right?
Yeah. But at the same time, so have a lot of other fucking players, and they all came back really well.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you look at, like, even a guy like Christian McCaffrey, like, he's been, like, he had an explosion year where he fucking did everything, like where he was like fucking 99 in Madden, and then now he's like, you don't know what you're gonna get from there right now.
Well, he broke down really fast too, because at one point. When you were talking about fantasy drafts, you're like, you got to draft Christian McCaffrey first. He was the number 1 point, and now he's just deteriorated into an afterthought. Let's talk about that division then. So you got Tampa, New Orleans, Atlanta, and Carolina. Obviously, Brady comes out of retirement because he spent 3 days at home and was like, "Fuck that! I don't want to."
Fuck that. He heard the friggin'.
Wasn't there?
He heard Giselle giving him friggin' like do some chores at home talks. He's like, fuck this shit. I'm not doing this shit.
That wasn't there a rumor that he was going to be like part owner of the Miami Dolphins before the whole allegations came out, and it was like he was supposed to like play in, own the Dolphins at the same time, like
that'd have been pretty gangster. I'd have supported that.
You think Tampa Bay is gonna go for him? You think he's gonna come with
They're gonna win the division? They have to me, I think they have a walkthrough division. To me, so I think they're gonna win the division. So
they also signed Russell Gage to replace Antonio Brown. They have Godwin. They have Mike Evans.
They brought back Fournette.
They haven't lost much from that Super Bowl winning team.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my opinion, I still rank them in the top of that the NFC. I'd say
they're gonna win the South.
Oh, they're gonna win the South easily. But you can't.
How do you think Jarvis Landry is gonna fit in the Saints? Because he's in the Saints now.
He's an idiot.
Huh?
He's an idiot. He chose to go home to have comfort, but he's gonna catch balls from fucking Jameis Winston and fucking Taysom Hill. He's a fucking idiot. Like,
he could have easily picked a Super Bowl team because there's a lot of teams.
He's a fucking idiot. I don't feel bad for him.
What'd you say, Ergys?
I said they got Andy Dalton. They're good.
Nah, hell fucking. I get Tyrann Mathieu going home because what he does is not affected by what the quarterback is doing. So I get him going home. That like when he went home, like, okay, whatever. That makes sense. He wants to finish his career. I get it. But Jarvis Landry turning down Super Bowl teams with Super Bowl quarterbacks to go catch balls from fucking Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. And New Orleans doesn't have any money, so they can't spend anything.
Yeah.
It's a shame because Drew Brees had built that franchise up so well, and then as soon as he retired
from the dirt,
they turned to dog shit. But Carolina's a weird team too, because they don't have a quarterback,
No.
and
They
then
have Darnold, right? Is it
yeah,
Darnold there?
yeah, and then they're flirting with Cam Newton again. Um,
They were rumored to be interested in Baker.
what are they? They don't. Who's Baker gonna throw to there? They
I
don't
don't know.
have. They don't have.
Zero idea.
Like the Carolina went from a significant team
Yeah.
3 years ago to like
Dog shit.
like I can see Carolina being the new Jaguars of the fucking NFC, like straight up. Like they don't have much.
What about the Falcons?
Falcons are interesting. They're interesting just because Kenny Pitts is really fucking good.
Yeah.
And is Mariota the starting QB now? I think, right?
They brought Mariota in, right?
Mariota, yeah.
Mariota, that's his starting QB. Oh,
yeah.
So there's zero trust in that from me, but they're an interesting piece because I think as well. I think they're playing for a quarterback this year as well too, and I think they have a lot of they got Calvin Ridley, like he's gonna be back after friggin' gambling $1,500 and losing his fucking NFL contract for the year. He'll be back. They just drafted another wide receiver this year, like a really good wideout this year from I think Alabama or whatever. But they're gonna have talent next year. But I think this year they're gonna be dog shit as well.
Well, they need it's
5-win football team, I think.
It's plain and simple. They need a quarterback. They don't have it, but they're. I think they're not a bad team. Like if you have them on your schedule, you can't look past them. But they're not a team that's gonna. They're not a team that's gonna impact play as a playoffs.
I think they're a 5-6 win team at max.
Yeah, well, they did 7 wins last year. I don't see them doing too much better than that. No. Going into the North, you got Green Bay, Minnesota, Chicago, Detroit. It's an interesting division because Green Bay historically has that division.
They run that division, but I think Minnesota is going to take the division.
Really?
Yeah.
You think Kirk Cousins finally fucking does it? I don't know.
Stop. I just think that they've picked up a lot of solid pieces this year. Like they got Zadarius Smith.
Fuck Zadarius Smith.
I know. Fuck him. But they got him. They got like 2 other starters. I think on the defensive side of the ball. Like and then you look at Green Bay. Like who the fuck is Aaron Rodgers throwing the ball to? Like he can't throw it to himself.
Yeah, but here's the fucking. No, fuck that. Here's the you say the Vikings. When has fucking Kirk Cousins won a significant game?
Aaron Rodgers.
That's a big question. That is a huge question. Like
and Aaron Rodgers finds a way though.
Yeah.
In the regular,
sure he does.
In the playoffs, no,
he's the best quarterback in that division. Like that's not a question. But
Chicago chance. They don't have Matt Nagy. They got a chance.
Justin Fields,
not ready. He's not there yet. I mean, they'll win some games,
7-8 games, I think. But
you don't think Justin Fields is going to do anything this year?
Possibly, but it won't be like anything remarkable. Like I don't see them over 7, maybe 8 games. That's a really good year for them, but I don't see it. I think that division is going to come down to Minnesota and Green Bay like it always does because Detroit is dog shit as well. But
Detroit, they got some good pieces too. Like their running back DeAndre Swift. I like that guy.
He's solid. Yeah, he's solid.
They had Megatron and they couldn't do anything. They're not gonna.
They had Megatron and fucking
Matt
Stafford. Yeah. So,
but like
they're gonna be dog shit. Like they picked up fucking Joker from us. So they have Elliott. They have fucking what was this sign? They signed
DJ Chark as well. They signed him from.
They signed Sharp, but they signed somebody else on the defensive side of the ball for like a 1-year contract who was like a starter somewhere. I don't remember who it was, but they signed someone else on defense. But they're gonna be dog shit.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that division is Minnesota, no. I can't. I don't think Kirk Cousins will win a Super Bowl.
No,
I've watched him play for the last 4 seasons in big games. He doesn't show up to big games. You can add whatever pieces you want around him. I don't think the Vikings do it. They had their chance a couple years ago when the Super Bowl was in Minnesota, and they blew it that season.
like that year they had like Diggs and stuff. They had Diggs. They had
Yeah, and they made the
Cleveland.
dumbest fucking trade. What'd they get for Diggs?
I don't remember.
Yeah, of course, because it was a stupid fucking trade.
Yeah.
That was like the trade that the Texans did for Hopkins. Like, not like it was a dumb fucking trade. When you heard it, you're like, "Who the fuck did you get?" It's a stupid trade, right? So, like, I mean, and Chicago is a shame because Chicago historically, you think about Chicago, you're like, "Oh, they're going to be a good defense," but they fucking, well, the NFC is weak in those three divisions. Now the West is where it gets interesting. You have Los Angeles, Arizona, San Francisco, and Seattle. You have the defending champs there. Do you think they repeat?
I don't know if they repeat as Super Bowl champions, but they're going to win that division.
Really?
I think they repeat, but I agree with you. I don't think they will.
Yeah, they're them getting Bobby Wagner, even though fuck him because he turned us down, but them getting Bobby Wagner was fucking huge. Like he is a fucking field general. He tackles he's been like top 5 in the league in tackles the last like 3-4 years. Like that was a huge addition. So,
well, Arizona's interesting because
you don't have Hopkins for 6 games.
Well, because he was doping, right?
Yeah, they don't have him for 6 games, so they're gonna rely on fucking Hollywood Brown. So good for them.
Sorry, what did you say, Ergys?
Who don't they have for 6 games?
Hopkins. But they did get Hollywood Brown in that trade, so it does make up for some of that.
Rely on Hollywood Brown for 6 games. Let's see how that goes for them.
But the problem with Arizona, this is my problem, is they had all the pieces the last 2 seasons. Like they signed, like is JJ Watt's not there anymore, right?
No, he's still there. Is
he still there? But they had all the pieces, and they just couldn't. They couldn't put it together, right?
They had Chandler Jones. They had friggin' was it Christian Kirk?
Yeah, Christian Kirk is gone now.
Yeah, they had Christian Kirk, but he's gone. Yeah.
And they couldn't put it together. I don't see them putting it together with the pieces that they got now. Will they be competitive? Yeah, I think they'll win 10+ games for sure. But you also have a quarterback who doesn't want to be there.
You think they can make the playoffs or no?
If Kyler Murray wants to be there, yeah. In
the NFC, I think they can make it, but that division is tough.
As a wild card, for sure.
Yeah, well, I don't know if I'll say for sure because that division is tough. You got LA, who is like a 12-win team this year. San Francisco, even with all the shit people talk about Jimmy, they were what, like a 12-win team last year?
10.
Jimmy.
Huh?
I thought they got rid of Jimmy Garoppolo.
Well, he's still there, but he just had surgery in the off season. So I think what they're doing, they're just making sure that he comes back from his surgery, and then they're gonna move him.
Yeah.
But he's definitely still on the roster.
Well, now San Francisco is unique because nobody thought they would get where the fuck they got last year.
Yeah.
And then their star player wants out, Deebo Samuel. He's showing up to OTAs, but he's still rumored to want out. Like, what do you guys think about that? How do you think that plays into the factor of San Francisco's success this season?
If they go with Deebo, then they're going to be non-hammer team and all. But if they manage to keep him,
he froze. What do you think, Ergys, about Deebo? Are you back?
Hold on.
I'm back. Okay, sorry guys. I was here talking. It's still frozen.
I can hear you, so just go.
Hear you.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm saying like under Kyle Shanahan having Deebo there, they're going to be a dynamic offense, but
those two, if he wants to be there, how, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, for sure. That's a huge question if he wants to be there or not.
how much is your heart in it if you're you know what I mean? How much are you gonna really play if you don't want to be there? How are you gonna? Do you want to like?
And Debo takes licks too. Like he takes big hits, man.
Yeah.
Debo takes
well, that's the thing, right?
They don't protect him at all. Right?
No, he takes fucking big hits, bro.
And the question with San Francisco is their depth as well. They don't really have a tremendous amount of depth, and I think that's why they didn't make it past where they made it this past year. They didn't have the depth, but they're a sleeper team, man. I mean,
for sure, yeah, they're talented for sure. Yeah,
like last year, you didn't even think San Francisco would make it out of their division, let alone go that deep into the playoffs, right? Now Seattle. So as we wrap this shit up, Seattle used to be a dominant team. Now we're talking about Seattle probably being one of the worst in the league in terms of.
You don't have faith in Drew Lock?
No.
Or Geno Smith?
No.
Yeah, those are gonna be dog shit. They're gonna be dog shit.
And the only thing that you can put when you talk about Seattle is fucking DK Metcalf. And
he's getting overrated now too, though.
I don't think he was ever that good in the first place, right? I think he was just a big physical guy, and you have Russell Wilson throwing him the ball. You're gonna make some play. You're like, who's throwing him the ball now?
Who fucking knows? Drew Lock.
Yeah, exactly. My point. So, like, the weirdest thing is. This is the weirdest part about this season that's coming up is like the NFC seems like a fucking weak ass conference, right?
The AFC is definitely the tougher conference this year.
You win AFC, you win the Super Bowl. That's what it's looking like.
Yeah, like the NFC might have,
but
sorry, go ahead.
You froze again.
Yeah, you froze.
I was gonna say, even with the AFC, it could be easier for the NFC going to the Super Bowl because the AFC, that playoff, a lot of guys are going to be banged up.
Yeah.
A lot of guys are going to be banged up in that playoff in the regular season. You know what I mean? The NFC, I don't think guys are going to be as banged up.
And you bring up a good point because you got all these great teams. They're gonna have to play twice, right? They're gonna play each other twice. So like, they're gonna like you look at.
I'm sorry,
it's all good. We were just saying, Ergys was saying that if you think about the AFC going into the playoffs, you're going to have these teams that are going to be banged up, right? Because you have all these significantly good teams beating the shit out of each other for the regular season. And that will give way to, and I think you might be right, Ergys. It'll give way to a team like fucking San Francisco. Yeah, just kind of sneak right in there,
Tampa or whatever,
Yeah,
who probably won't have as hard of a run. Well, but because you see these teams here, the big name teams in these, Tampa, San Francisco, Arizona. You're naming a few here that might go far into the playoffs. With the AFC, Kansas, Raiders, and Chargers. That's all only in the AFC West. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like not even.
And then Denver's there. Like that can be that division. Like all four of those teams. Like I don't know if it's possible, but I wouldn't if it's possible. I wouldn't be surprised if all four teams made playoffs. Like they're all really really good football teams.
And like you can't count out Buffalo, and then look at the North. The North, like as dog shit as much as we were dogging on the Browns, right? Imagine Rapey McGee actually gets rid of his cases, and he actually plays football.
Well, I don't think it'll be too close. It's too close. First game's in September. I don't think it's happening.
Okay, but if Rapey McGee gets his shit together and he gets to play football this year, you're talking about a conference where legitimate
have
10 teams,
7 teams, 7, 8 teams, easily.
10 teams will have over 10 wins, right?
Yeah.
Right. The worst division in the AFC is the one with Tennessee and Indy, but I think Indy wins.
That's still not a bad division.
That's what I mean. That's the worst division, but that's like Tennessee can win 10 games even with the losses that they've had, and Indianapolis can win 10 games easily. right? So,
Yeah.
like,
Oh.
okay, so as we wrap this up, make your fucking pick right now. You got to pick 4 teams, 2 from the AFC, 2 from the NFC. Ergys.
Can I? I'm gonna leave the Steelers as a float because I gotta keep them there. But my 2 teams that I honestly think could win it. I'm gonna look up here. I'm just gonna quickly check. Buffalo. I think Buffalo can win it, and I'm gonna go with Kansas City for AFC. Buffalo and Kansas City.
If Kansas City gets out of the West and wins the Super Bowl, that would be historically great.
Yes. With the losses that they had, especially.
Yes, for sure. And NFC, I feel like it's an easy one for me. I'm gonna put Tampa Bay and Rams.
Yeah, okay. I think NFC is pretty easy. Like Green Bay, who knows?
I don't see it.
I mean, I don't see either. But Aaron Rodgers just came off of a MVP year.
Yeah, so but he came up with an MVP year, but he choked in the playoffs against Jimmy Garoppolo.
Had like 10 points in the playoffs or whatever it was. So I think I would agree. I think Rams are
the only MVP that really MVP matters, but it's the Finals MVP. You know, because you won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like MVP is just it glorifies for the regular season. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers could have 4 of those, but he only has 1 ring.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? He doesn't show up in the playoffs.
All right, David, who are you picking?
I got Rams and Tampa easily, and then in the AFC, like I got Ravens, and I go Ravens, Buffalo. Those are 2. I think Ravens are prime for. I'm not upset, but just like it's very interesting to see like what a year has done to everyone's memory. Like they were first in the NFL last year before injuries. So like I think with everyone coming back healthy, like I think Ravens are like prime for a very, very good season.
No.
So we'll see what happens. Just that's obviously dependent on injuries. Obviously.
So I picked the right one last year. If you remember, I picked the Rams. So
you did.
I
did.
did.
The Rams. You did.
So for the AFC this year.
Yeah, but then you also had Titans too.
Yeah, but fuck off.
You picked the Rams. That's all that matters.
I picked the Rams. I picked the fucking winner. Right? So as much as I would love to say Baltimore, I'm gonna reserve that because you have to wait till the first 3 or 4 weeks to see how
guys come back from injuries.
Right? Guys are coming back from injuries. Like I think we were talking about it in our group chat. Like everyone's excited. Marcus Peters is coming back, but you tear an ACL.
Yeah.
And
that's why I'm happy that they went out and got Kyle Fuller.
But also too, the AFC West is going to be such a grueling. So, like you said, you got to wait 3 or 4 games because that's going to be a grueling regular. The AFC West is going to be a grueling division.
Yeah,
for sure,
and
so there's no easy game in that division. Like all division games are going to be fucking brutal.
So the two I'm going to take out of the AFC, I'm going to go Cincinnati and Los Angeles Chargers. Those are my picks. Right? I think Cincinnati. I'm going to pick Cincinnati because a team that never makes the playoffs and goes that far. I don't see them stopping that momentum. They didn't lose much after this offseason, and I think they only have the only thing that they have going into this is really great amount of experience. So I think they play really well. Do they go far in the playoffs? I don't know. But I'm going to take the Chargers because I just think they're fucking stacked. I think Herbert's good. I think
Herbert's great, man.
Yeah, I think they can stun that division. And now that Herbert's got a few years under his belt, I think he can shock a lot of people. Will they win the Super Bowl? I don't know. But that's my 2 picks for that. For the NFC, the NFC is a fucked up one. But I have to say I'm gonna do Tampa for sure because you can't rule out Tom Brady. But
No.
my other pick would be San Francisco. I think that they didn't
Interesting.
see they made it so far last year. If they can keep Debo, this is all dependent on if Debo leaves. I change that pick hands down, right? But if you go that far with Jimmy Garoppolo, right? There's something about the team and the coaching that's beyond the players. You know, you understand what I'm saying? So if they could keep Debo Samuel and build around him with subpar with
I
average
think
player,
they got to get rid of Jimmy Garoppolo, though. I think it's time to.
He's gone. Yeah, like I think their situation is different with the Baker switch. I think teams will go out and pay for like they give up a second round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo. I think everyone's just waiting to see how he comes back off the injury because he just had a surgery, right? He just had something of I think a shoulder surgery or something. So once he comes back and teams are able to do a physical on him, I think he'll be out of there for sure by trade deadline for sure. Unlike Baker, Baker is fucking he's a fish out of water right now. Like nobody wants to.
And that's why I picked him. I don't pick them because I think he's the 49ers are the most stacked stellar team in the league. If I was to pick a stacked stellar team, I'd say the Browns. They have everything that you need in a fucking team.
Yeah, they're roster.
But I say San Francisco because I think they're just a gritty team, and I think with the weakness that the NFC brings this year, I think that if they can stay gritty like they did last year, they can repeat their same success with average players, right? Those are my two. Like that's the reason I picked LA last year, right? Because I saw them being that gritty team. I didn't see them being like everyone how they were stacked and they were paying guys, but you couldn't have said that about Matthew Stafford at the start of last season. You didn't know he was going to do that. Right? You knew he was a good quarterback, but you didn't know he was going to go out and fucking win a Super Bowl.
You didn't know Cooper Kupp was going to fucking have the best wide receiver season ever.
Yeah, so
they did they did put a whole thing on it though. They made a big gamble and it paid off. So that's
yeah. So that being said, I just that's why I picked those guys. So I mean, I don't know if they're gonna win, but if they keep the pieces that they had last year and they keep being gritty, I can see them pulling that shit off. But yeah, anyway, all right, boys, that's it. We ran through the whole fucking NFL. There you go. All right. So, all right. Thanks for doing this. That's been another episode, and yeah, man, we're done. Thanks, guys.
Right on,
everybody. Thank you for watching. Please do me a favor. Click the like below. Share on YouTube. Share on Instagram. Share on Facebook. Spread the word so I can keep creating more content for you and keep providing you with a great podcast experience. Peace out.